What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. Lakers fans, they drafted Jalen Hood-Schifino. Thought the pick was a pretty good pick. I want to talk about the pick a little bit and how I think Jalen will progress throughout his career and what his value is to the Lakers right now. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and if you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. I know a lot of Laker fans, myself included, were hoping for Cam Whitmore when he was falling and falling and falling. They didn't take him. They took Jalen Hood-Schifino instead. And I don't want to say that's a bad pick because the Lakers' history in drafting the last 5 years, 6 years, has been one of the best in the NBA from wherever they're picking. It could be in the second round. It could be undrafted guys. Look at Austin Reeves as a great example, right? But Jalen Hood-Schifino, he's the whole topic, right? Because he's a 6'6" point guard, about 215 pounds. He's a bigger guard, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists in college. Statistically, nothing crazy, right? But I think defensively, he's one of the best players in this draft, and he's a longer guard, so they got a lot of versatility with a guard that can do that. Because if you look at D'Angelo Russell, not really a defender. Austin Reeves, as much as we love him, not really a defender. Outside of that, they didn't really have a lot of depth at the guard spot. So then you have Dennis Schroeder, right? Dennis Schroeder is a very good defender, but now you have a 6'6" guard that's out there. You can kind of play a little bit more versatile at some points in time. My question to you guys is, do you like the Jalen Hood-Schifino pick? Because I thought it was good. I thought it was solid. And I don't think at 17 in the draft you're drafting a top star player. You're not drafting the future of your franchise more than likely. So they got a guy that could potentially be the 8th guy in the rotation, which is not bad for a rookie. He's really, really good in the pick and roll as a point guard. And I think if you watch a lot of the NBA, 90% of offenses are just pick and roll and just spamming that over and over and over again. So I think that projects very, very well. Shooting, I don't think he's going to project as a great shooter as a rookie, but long term he could be. He was 78% from the free throw line in college. Somewhat of a good sign that he might be able to become a good shooter over time. Only 33% from 3. So if you're going to have a knock on him, it's probably the shooting. But I like that he's a bigger guard. He plays physical. Defensively, he's going to be able to play. If you can play defense, you can play in the NBA. And I think, as long as you're just a somewhat decent offensive player, you're going to be in good shape. And I think he can provide that. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of pressure on him. Yes, it is LA, and there's always going to be pressure attached to anybody that's drafted to LA. But I think he could fit in as the 8th guy in the rotation, could play as the 1 or the 2 because of his size. And I think that's okay. He's going to be learning, as long as, we don't know. Maybe the pick gets traded. It is still draft night right now. We're on pick 22 with the Brooklyn Nets. He could get traded, and this video could be all for nothing. But I think no matter which team he goes to, he could provide good attributes. And to the Lakers, I think defensively, pick and roll, and kind of being a long-term. I don't think he's a project, but could become a very, very good player. And the Lakers' history of drafting kind of backs that up. Side note, he also went to Montverde Academy, which is where D'Angelo Russell went, Ben Simmons went. So, those are 2 guys that have come from Montverde very, 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 very recently. And, they've turned into really, really great players at certain points of time with Ben Simmons. We'll see what happens with his career. But D'Angelo Russell played very, very well for the Lakers last year. So, he played at decent schools, played at Indiana, had big games against Purdue. Purdue was a monster, and I think they actually got bounced early in the tournament, but they were a monster all regular season in college. So I think Jalen Hood-Schifino is a solid pick. JHS is just going to be a lot easier to say than his whole name, but I like the pick. 6'6", bigger guard, has defensive tools, can play that, can play in the pick and roll. That's a solid get when you're picking at 17, because you're really picking for specialists a lot at that point, either 3-and-D or spot up shooting, or you're just looking for things like that. And if you watch the Lakers defense in the playoffs, one thing that was very, very lacking outside of Jared Vanderbilt and Dennis Schroeder was the point of attack defense. The defense at the point of attack was terrible. That's why Anthony Davis was so otherworldly in protecting the rim. Now imagine if you have somebody that can actually guard up at the point of attack other than Dennis and Vanderbilt. I think that gives you an opportunity to lock up your defense a little bit more, because the best defensive teams typically make the playoffs. So I think that's another step that they can take forward, and I think Jalen Hood-Schifino can help improve that. Anywho, what do you think of the Jalen Hood-Schifino pick? I think it's solid. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Just, I'm not too worried. I'm not too hyped or anything like that, but I'm very, very relaxed because I think the Lakers' history of drafting should give them the benefit of the doubt when it comes to who they pick. You go down the list of picks they've had in the last 5-6 years, like I said, almost all hits, no misses. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you like this kind of content, please like the video. But Jalen Hood-Schifino, as of right now, is a Laker. We'll see if he gets traded or not. Again, because the Lakers will do whatever they want to do. But I'm very excited if he is on the team or wherever he goes, because I think he's going to be a good player. So I'm done. Peace.